Bum 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 ba-dum, bum bum boom down 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 boom down down down. So if you're still here, thank you. But as you can probably tell, from that perfect rendition of the Justice League Unlimited theme song, I like a little bit of DC Comics and DC Comics characters. Superman is probably my second favorite superhero of all time, maybe tied for first. I won't say who he's tied with or who he would be behind if he was my second. I'll leave that to you guys to speculate. But I am obviously very optimistic about this new DC universe that we have, with interconnectivity between the TV shows and the movies. It looks like they're dropping that whole games thing. I think that James Gunn has just as capable hands as anybody else as far as leading the DC universe from now on, but he's made some decisions that stress me out a little bit. Um, and said some things that stressed me out a little bit. Like the first thing I remember that stuck out to me, is that like he wanted it to be that one actor plays a character across like all of their appearances, which is fine, but then that means that for shows like Creature Commandos or whatever else is coming out, we're probably not really looking for like voice actors. It's just like whoever's playing this character on live action is going to voice that character in whatever animated thing, and I don't necessarily think that that's a good thing by itself. I also think that it's just extremely limiting for like a character. Like if Wonder Woman appears in a game and a movie and a show, for that to all be the same version of her. I think that it helps to divvy things up, and it looks like we're starting to get away from that a little bit because we do have My Adventures with Superman, and that's obviously not the same Superman, but Rick Flag Sr. is going to be the same in the movie as he is in Creature Commandos, so all of that does still remain to be seen as far as how it's going to work, and if it's going to be confusing to follow, that's not really the important thing to me. What is important is this roster, this lineup of movies and shows and projects that we have coming here. Like, obviously, Superman is kicking things off in a couple of months here in July. Then we got Peacemaker Season 2, a little bit after that. Sandman Season 2, that's not connected to that. Why is that on this list? Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow next year, looking forward to that. Clayface on 9/11, 2026. First of all, Clayface? Like, look, okay, the Venom trilogy was successful enough. The first Joker movie was a smash hit, the second one was not. Obviously, it's doable to make a movie just about a villain without including the hero. But Clayface? Like, is that the guy that we wanna do this with? Sergeant Rock comes out in fall of 2026 so far. I'm like, I don't know who Sergeant Rock is. And like that's kind of like the theme of what I wanted to talk about here. Like, dynamic duo, the animated Robin movie, that's fine. The Lanterns TV series. A lot of the stuff down here is in development, like The Brave and the Bold. That's the Batman movie that's got Damian Wayne in it. The Authority, the Bane and Deathstroke movie, the Waller TV series, Paradise Lost series, all that stuff. It's strange to me to prioritize things like The Authority and Sergeant Rock, because it's like, well, who the fuck is that? You know? And it's like, oh, well, you know, Ant-Man wasn't a household name. People didn't know who Star-Lord was before those movies came out. And while there's merit to that, it wasn't like, I don't know, like how would I put this in Marvel terms? It would be like if we started with Iron Man, or more accurately, if we started with a Captain America movie, and then there was a movie about, like, this is a really bad analogy. If we did like Iron Man, and then the next movie was like War Machine, and then the next movie was like the Red Skull, and then the next movie was Agent Maria Hill, you know, like it's just like, I think that we should establish a Superman and a Batman and a Green Lantern and a Flash and a Wonder Woman and an Aquaman first. And then we start getting into like the crazy wackier aspects of DC Comics. I don't have a problem with making a movie about Sergeant Rock. But who is playing Batman? We don't even have a Batman yet. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about is I'm concerned about A, the director of The Flash touching any other DC characters, but B, this particular Batman movie being about like Batman and Damian Wayne. I think it's a strange pick to have a mostly rookie Superman and like a middle-aged, heavily experienced, seasoned Batman. Pardon the interruption, it's your boy Toxic Boyo, and I wanted to take a brief moment to let you know about the Toxic Touch Productions Patreon. I'm not currently monetized on YouTube, but I still want to bring you the best content that I possibly can. I want to make those videos that you love, and I want them to be the best that they can be. But I need a little help. That's where you guys come in. If you want to support me directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/ToxicTouchProductions or click the link in the description or the pinned comment. For even just $5 a month, you can get your name included in the credits at the end of the video, gain access to exclusive channels on the Discord, and you get specialized merch at no extra cost. It only gets better as the tiers go higher. Go check it out. Thanks for listening and thanks for supporting my dreams. Now let's get back to the video. Because A, Damian Wayne is not the favorite Robin. I won't say he's hated by the community, at least not nearly as much as he was back in like 2008 when I first became aware of him. But a lot of people have him below Dick Grayson and Tim Drake. He might be above Jason Todd simply because he's been around way longer than Jason ever was before he died. He's probably above like Carrie Kelly and Stephanie Brown for a lot of people as well, for that same reason. But like, I feel like if we're doing a Robin, because first, I'm excited, obviously, to have Robin in a Batman movie. Robin's one of my favorite characters, and he hasn't been in a movie since 1995, before I was born. So in my lifetime, I've never had a Batman movie with Robin in it. So I'm excited that he'll be there in general, but I would much rather have Dick Grayson. That seems like the Robin we should start with. Or, if you want to do your Teen Titans movie, because it's probably going to have Dick Grayson in it, let's do Tim Drake. I don't necessarily want Batman to be super old in comparison to Superman. I don't want, because everybody's talking about Jensen Ackles and Alan Ritchson, these guys that are pushing 50. I'm like, or we could get a guy who's like late 20s, very early 30s. You know? that I think works for me also. I think Batman should be about 29 to 31 when he starts his career. So that works. That tracks with the current age of the Superman that we have. But I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But it's like Booster Gold, totally fine. But a Waller TV series? Do we really want more Waller? A Bane Deathstroke team-up movie? What the hell even is that? What is Paradise Lost? You know, like there's more like Harley Quinn animated stuff coming, whatever, Blue Beetle animated series, there's the Starfire series, My Adventures with Green Lantern that we already know about. It seems like they're going to have a very robust animated slate, which is great. DC has always excelled at animated television content. Batman, Superman, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Green Lantern, Justice League, Young Justice, for a while. All of these shows have been very successful, very popular. I don't think people are going to complain about having more animated DC content, but like the Lanterns TV series, is Green Lantern not good enough for a movie? Are we just afraid to put Green Lantern on the big screen again? Because for all the talk about the Zack Snyder universe and how much people miss it, we never had a Green Lantern. Like, the only Green Lantern that we ever saw was some unnamed alien that was killed in the same couple seconds in which he was introduced, and then his ring took off. We don't even know who got it after that. You could speculate that it was Abin Sur, but probably not, because thousands of years passed, right? So I'm kind of looking like, what are we even, like, I don't know. I enjoyed the Guardians of the Galaxy trilogy. I liked the Suicide Squad, and I loved Peacemaker. I want to be optimistic. I think James Gunn is talented. I think that he cares a lot about these characters. But a lot of this also feels like it's coming from a place of like trying to prove how much of a comic book fan he is. By being like, oh, I'm going to do a movie about the Authority. Nobody needs you to do that. Swamp Thing? That I'm excited for. Teen Titans? That I'm excited for. But to be honest, to be completely honest with you, I had like a perfect pitch for a Teen Titans movie that I've been sitting on for years, Um, and I tried, man. I tried hard to get James's attention. Isn't it crazy that James Gunn is like the most chronically online filmmaker in the world, maybe in the history of the world? And I couldn't get his attention. People can tweet at him random shit like, "Hey, how's your dog?" And he'll be like, "My dog's fine, thanks for asking." But I can't get his attention when I'm like, "Hey, I've got a great Titans concept." Because if we're being honest, I wouldn't have it be a Teen Titans movie. I'd have it be a Titans movie. But the word Titans is kind of like stained when it's by itself like that because of that terrible show that nobody liked. I am obviously like looking forward to the Supergirl movie because it looks like Lobo's the main antagonist of that film. I'm a huge Lobo fan. I think a lot of people really like Lobo, so Jason Momoa playing Lobo makes perfect sense to me. But like a Clayface movie, I don't really get that. Animated Robin origin film, totally fine. Batman Part 2 is coming out at some point, maybe, theoretically. Lanterns TV series, not super excited about that strictly because it's a TV show, and I also don't think that Kyle Chandler's the right guy for Hal Jordan, but that's neither here nor there. I'll be there for Creature Commando Season 2. I want this Batman Brave and the Bold movie to be good. It's just, it's concerning to me because it feels so scattered. You know, like I don't know, maybe it's because so much stuff is being announced all at once. Because like I'm looking at a list here of like all of these upcoming DC projects, and like a couple of them aren't DCU, like the Batman Part 2 and Sandman and Constantine 2 if that ever does come out. But like there's over a dozen DCU projects here. Superman, Peacemaker, Supergirl, Clayface, Sergeant Rock, Dynamic Duo, Lanterns, Brave and the Bold, Creature Commandos, Authority, Swamp Thing, Teen Titans, Bane and Deathstroke, Waller, Booster Gold, Paradise Lost, Blue Beetle. There's over a dozen projects here, all announced in this huge batch. And like Marvel can do that, and even then it's still concerning. Like in 2019 when they were like, "Hey, we've got 8 TV shows and 7 movies coming over the next 3 years." It's like, okay, that's a lot. But this DC universe is just getting started, you know? Like if you look at phase 1 of the MCU, it was just like, here's an Iron Man movie, here's a Hulk movie. We're also announcing the development of a Thor and a Captain America film. And if you're paying attention to those characters, we're building towards the Avengers. You can tell that they announced no more than 5 projects in one batch, right? And then the same sort of thing was in line for phase 2 and even phase 3. But I don't know, because as far as I know, we're still in what's basically phase 1 of the DCU with all of these projects. Like this whole thing is chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. That's a lot of content to announce all at once, and it is overwhelming to kind of look at for people like me that have been reading comics for years and still don't know what some of this shit is. The Guardians of the Galaxy, I'd at least heard of them. Like Marvel Studios has yet to put out a movie or a show about a character I've never heard of. Even if there's characters that I know very little about, like Echo or Agatha Harkness or I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Like even if it's like named after something or about a character that I don't know a whole lot about, it's something or someone that I've heard of. I don't know who the Authority are. I don't know what Paradise Lost is. I don't know who Sergeant Rock is. That's not to say that they shouldn't get a movie or a show, but it's just it's I don't know. It confuses me just a little bit. Just teensy tiny bit. I don't know. Anyway, that's enough yapping for me today. I've been recording videos for the last like 2 hours. My goodness, my voice is about to burn out. Thanks for watching though, and I'll see you later.